Welcome to Your Community, a production of the Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment, highlighting the contributions of people, groups or businesses who exhibit an exemplary social conscience and are dedicated to community empowerment in their own meaningful way, whether on a small or large scale. Our first episode of Your Community takes us to the community of Gros. I'm your presenter, Adhara King. Stay with us as we present Your Community, Gros. Our first episode of Your Community is being filmed in the town of Gros. With me is Social Transformation Officer for Gros, Mr. Miguel Trim. Miguel, welcome to our program and give us an idea of what it is that a Social Transformation Officer does.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. King. Well, Social Transformation Officers are basically the link between the community groups and community organizations and the Ministry of Social Transformation. We work on the ground with these groups who are interested in community development and community empowerment and seek to assist them in their activities and objectives.
As the Social Transformation Officer in Gros, based on your interactions on the ground, what are your thoughts on the level of community activity and what's going on in Gros?
Of course, I'm very impressed with the level of activity in Gros. There is a lot going on because of the sheer size of the district and also because of the diversity of the district. So there's a lot of going on, not only in terms of community development but also economic development to an extent. Of course, we have Rodney Bay, and we also have what I like to call the boroughs of Gros, being the town, Moshi and Grand Riviere. And there is a lot of activity. There are persons who are very interested in seeing their communities develop and doing the work that is necessary to see that happen.
In your opinion, is it necessary or how important is it for a community to pool their human resources to achieve their goals as a community?
Well, I believe that, as they say, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. So therefore, it's very important for communities to ensure that every link in their chain is as strong as it could possibly be. So in terms of pooling the human resources, that is the kind of activity that is, of course, necessary for them to develop strong and empowered communities.
Is there something you'd like to share that is unique about the community based on your experience, or any unique experience that you have had as a Social Transformation Officer in Gros that you'd like to share with us?
Well, there's so much that is unique about Gros, but I think that the community of Moshi has become particularly dear to my heart because of the fact that the Ministry of Social Transformation has its community after school program there. The children there are so wonderful. They're very much focused on the musical aspects, and their after school program has really blossomed in that respect. They performed at the Taiwanese trade show, they've performed at the landings, they've performed at the Christmas Carol Festival at Moshi, and they are very exceptional. The whole cultural aspect, which is so prominent in Moshi, of course, is something that has a lot of potential for development and can pave the way for a lot more to happen in that community.
All right. Final question for you as we wrap up. What would you like Miguel Trim to be known for in Gros?
Well, I think I would like to be known for my ability to connect people to the resources that they need, to connect groups to the agencies that may be able to assist them, and to other groups who they may be able to learn from and to interact with. So I think that's my role as a connector of sorts is what I'd like to be known for in Gros.
All right, thank you. That's a good note to end on, because that is something that we would like to do with this program as well, to introduce the communities to their Social Transformation Officers and to give them an idea of what's going on in the community and how they can tap into those resources that are available. So thank you once again for sharing with us, and stay tuned. This is Your Community in the town of Gros.
If we could save our children, we'd solve so many problems. This is your call to action. Join Social Transformation. Help save a mind, save a child. With life skills or academics, it's all worth
This is Ronald Buhingson inviting you to join the Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment in support of the Community After School Program. For more information, call 451-9042.
You save a mind, you save a child. Volunteer your time, it's worth your while.
You're watching Your Community in the town of Gros, and I am here at the Gros School with the president of the Moshi Development Committee, Mr. Darwin Clement. Darwin, thanks for agreeing to share your journey with us here today. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in volunteerism and what it means to you.
Okay, thank you first of all for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
Basically, I started into the whole volunteerism part of my life that was about 23 years ago. It started when I was the president of the Gros Catholic Youth Organization. We would go out to the community and more or less help out the sick and shedding. 3 years after that, I ended up in an accident where I lost my right arm and I was no longer able to work. So my passion for volunteerism even got stronger. I started then going out to different organizations and getting help for people who cannot help themselves. And since then, it's taken it's more or less a passion of mine to continue doing that, because if you go back to the good old book, the Bible, it says that God will help those who help themselves.
Yes.
And there is the part of the Bible which says, when I was hungry, did you feed me? Or when I was thirsty, give me drink? And he said, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And this is what I'm more or less trying to do, to help other persons out there who are less fortunate than myself. 3 years ago, I moved to Moshi as I became a member of the Moshi Winners Association. And it then went on to me becoming a member of the development committee in the post of vice president. And after the president resigned, then I officially took the mantle of president of the Moshi Development Committee. Since then, it's been, as every other group has its challenges, it's been a challenge, but we have tried to do the best for the community to make Moshi more or less the capital of Gros. If, as they say, Marsh is the capital of cat's trees, Moshi has a lot of cultural attributes. Moshi has a lot of cultural background. As a result, we want to see that these cultural attributes and these cultural groups and so on come forward, like more or less to bring it out there so people can see what Moshi is really made for.
Share your thoughts on what you think is necessary to achieve your vision of community development.
Okay, first of all, it's the people. If we as a people don't come together and don't decide to do what we want to do, it's not going to work. So far, we have been getting the support of the people in Moshi. Whenever there's an activity, they would turn out. For example, we've had cleanup campaigns, we've had a number of activities, and they're part of the activities. They always come out and assist. So I think with that being said, the people more or less coming together builds the spirit that we're looking for, and that helps with getting things done in the community.
As part of our St. Lucian culture, in the context of community development, are there any things that you think lend positively to that spirit of community development and social development on our island? Like, I know we have the Kudme spirit, and although some people say that is dying, what is your opinion on things like that culturally and how they help with our development socially?
I think that if people come out as a community, a lot more will be achieved. As I said earlier, I know, for example, in Moshi, at one time, Kudme was the in thing for Moshi. You would not have found contractors coming to build any houses in Moshi or so on. Let's take, for example, the Secret Band from Moshi. They started as a Kudme group, and they grew to becoming Secret Band as it is now. They started off as a group of family members having Christmas lunches and just beating buckets and beating sticks together, and then they formed Secret Band. So culturally, if people come together, I think that a lot more will be achieved. We have, as I said again, a few projects, and the people have really shown a lot of commitment and effort to doing those projects. One of those projects is that we want to build a children's park in Moshi, and hopefully by the end of this year that will be done. And we've spoken to a few persons from the community as well as stakeholders, corporate citizens, and they're willing to assist us with those activities.
A last question for you, just shoot at me. In 25 years, what would you want to be known for?
For assisting those who are less fortunate than myself, for being out there and doing something to put a smile on somebody's face. I know there are people who sometimes get up in the morning and they have nothing to eat, and I want them to remember Darwin as the person who ensured I had a meal for the day, or the person who, for example, children who have nothing to do on a weekend, for them to say, at least I remember Darwin for coming to Moshi as a member of the development committee and putting that park, and I can have a smile on my child's face, and so on. This is more or less what Darwin Clement is about.
I like that. Thank you for being part of our show. Stay tuned, your community. We're in the town of Gros. The Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment is making it a little easier to care for your special child. The National Grant for Children with Disabilities is here for you. To apply, please note that your child must suffer from a severe disability, meaning that he or she can't see, hear, talk, walk, or a combination of two or more. Fill out an application. You can get one at the council office in your constituency, Social Transformation Regional Offices, the Blind Welfare Association, and Child Development Centers island-wide. Once your application is complete, you will be referred to the nearest healthcare facility for evaluation. When your child has been examined by the doctor, your application will be processed. When it is approved, you will be contacted. You will receive your disbursement through your bank or credit union account. The National Grant for Children with Disabilities, a special gift for your special child. By now we've realized that a lot is going on in the community of Gros. As we continue our conversations with a lot of the social drivers in the community of Gros, I now have the pleasure of speaking with Youth Parliamentarian and First Vice President of the Gros Youth Development Council, Ms. Rejane Montoute. Welcome to our show. Thanks for agreeing to speak with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Okay, Rejane. Tell me a little bit about your involvement in community development in your capacity as a member of the Youth Development Council.
At first, it started when in July of last year, where I realized that a lot of our young people, although going to school and getting the formal means of education, a lot of us don't know how to prepare job letters. And given that, you know, in this economical time, a lot of our young people are unemployed. So what I did, I took the initiative to have a youth job seminar where you would come in, learn how to write a CV, learn how to prepare yourself for an interview, dress properly, speak properly, and that sort of thing. Now, the seminar was in August. I had the idea in July, and with a few help of some other individuals in the community, helped us launch that. It was a very informative session. A lot of the persons who were involved in it told me I got great feedback from it. A lot of them enjoyed it, and you know, it goes a long way, the little that you do, because afterwards, you know, that little initiative that you push into the community, somebody else would take that in and then bring it up to something else. So my community involvement actually started that way. And then in November of this year, me along with the the Social Transformation Officer and the Youth and Sports Officer for Gros decided that, you know what, Gros Youth Council has been dormant for too long. We need to start something. We need to start having something for Gros, because Gros is the only council, I believe, the only district that didn't have a council at that time.
Okay.
So in November, me, the two officers, and some other youth in Gros came together and established what is now the Gros Youth Development Council.
Now, speaking with you, I can already tell that you're a very powerful young lady and that you're going to go very far in the community of Gros and in St. Lucia in general. What personal values are important to you and something that you'd like to share with other people who are probably a little hesitant or just in the infant stages of contributing to national development?
In that sense, personal values, I would say one, self-empowerment. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you can do things. You can change. The little that you do can go a long way at the end of the day. You need to believe in yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, don't believe that is just the end. This is where I'm at, and that's it. You always have to look forward, dream. I would say dream, and go for those goals. Another one is perseverance. Things might not come right now or at the moment, but you know you have to continue to persevere, continue to work at your craft, continue to be passionate about what it is that you love. If it's that, because I could tell you a story about me debating public speaking. If you had asked me that about, I would say 5 years ago, I would tell you, no, never, that would never happen. And look at where it has brought me today. I have represented Gros in the youth parliament 2 years. I am the national champion debater in the NYC NLA competition for 2 years running again, and I'm going to represent my community again in this year. So, and it all started out just as me getting the opportunity to present at a simple community debate, nothing too big, and look at where it has brought me today.
So you see the significance of community and personal empowerment and making your goals a reality through as small an avenue as whatever council is available in your community, or if there's nothing, you create something. So that's something that a lot of youth can look to. Thank you for speaking with us, Rejan, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Mick says domestic violence is more than the bruises and scars that one can see.
Get in the mix today. Multiple indicator cluster survey. Better data, better decisions for the upcoming generation. Children need better healthcare and education, lights, clean water and better sanitation. Commit ourselves to providing employment, literacy, early learning. Children need protection from abuse. For that we have no excuse. Get in the mix today. Multiple indicator cluster survey. Get in the mix today.
This is an announcement from the Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment.
Welcome back to your community in the town of Gros. I'm your presenter, Adhara King, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Neil Verdant. We're on the location of Reggae on the Bay in Gros. And Mr. Verdant, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
Thanks for agreeing to be a part of our show. Okay, the reason why you asked to be on this show is because somebody has recognized that you are making a difference in your community and that you are advancing the social development of Gros. So give me an idea of what it is that you're involved in your community.
All right, well, I'm involved in a couple of things. First of all, I'm the president of the Gros Vendors Association, which is the group that puts on the Gros Friday night activity. I'm also the managing director of the Gros Business Directory, and what we do is we register micro and small businesses to our website and Facebook page, and we do a lot of social media marketing for them, as well as doing expos where we go out to various communities to display the goods and services of my business partners, as well as doing seminars where we get professionally trained people to work with the business owners to help develop their businesses.
How did you become interested in giving back to your community, so to speak?
Well, generally from birth, we're given a lot of stuff. Even you're born, your parents give you life, you go to school, you're given an education. So it comes naturally. And in my profession as a telecoms engineer, in my past job, I was given a lot of support from the business owners where I was sent overseas a lot, trained a lot in this aspect. So it's just naturally being concerned of the development in my community that I give back and help where I can.
Now we know that the Gros Friday Night Street Party is a big feature for the town of Gros, not only locally but internationally. You mentioned that you're the president of the Vendors Association. Tell me about your involvement in that and how that activity contributes to the life and the quality of life in Gros.
Okay, well, I got involved with the Vendors Association. I was called into a meeting where I was supposed to give them some ideas because to help develop the activity. And then coincidentally they had a meeting at that same night and then came there to give ideas and ended up leaving the president of the association.
Wow.
So, and what the vendors, the association does for the vendors, we understand the economical situation in our community and you know the unemployment situation, and the Friday night gives the vendors a chance to earn a certain living. At least every week they can take care of the home affairs, send the kids to school. So this is one of the ways that it contributes greatly to our community.
Okay, you've also pioneered reggae on the bay. Tell me about reggae on the bay, because I understand that it involves a lot more than just the entertainment, because you have tent set up and all of that. Tell me about that.
Okay,
activity.
well, Reggae on the Bay initially was set up to, provide some level of entertainment, not only to our locals, but to any of our visitors. And then what we do is try to, push out a lot of reggae music, the positive of the music. So in one aspect where we have the young people around, we send a lot of positive music vibrations their way. As well, the Reggae on the Bay, we team up with my other business, which is the Gros Business Directory, where we set up tents, and then we allow my business partners to come in to display their goods and services to anyone that visits the event. So with the hope that it actually grows their business.
Okay, that's very interesting. You seem to have a lot of ideas, and I hope that you continue in that vein. How is the support in your community for what you do?
I have to say, I really do get the support. I go out and then I speak to the people regularly. I must say that I have the full support of my community. Everybody who learns and knows about the different events, I've never really got the sense that, I'm not getting support. And then I'm always very thankful for that as well.
And that is what is important. And that's one of the things that we want to bring about with this show, is to get people to support their people, to support the people in your community, because they're the ones who are making a difference. In your own small way, you're making a difference in Gros, and that's something that we want to bring about in your community. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Mick says parents and guardians take time to learn and understand your children's behavior.
Get in the mix today. Multiple indicator cluster survey. Better data, better decisions for the upcoming generation. Children need better healthcare and education, lights, clean water and better sanitation. Commit ourselves to providing employment, literacy, early learning. Children need protection from abuse. For that we have no excuse. Get in the mix today. Multiple indicator cluster survey. Get in the mix today.
This is an announcement from the Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment.
I'm standing here on the Granivier playing field with the first Vice President of the Granivier Development Committee, Miss Anselma James. Anselma, this is your community, Gros, as you know, and you've been selected to be on our show because we realize that you're giving back to your community, and would like to recognize you for that. So welcome to our program, and give me an idea of how you became involved in community development.
I would not say I got involved. It's a natural thing. Being a pillar of the community, I was born here, I was raised there, my formative education began here. Okay. I moved away and then I returned, so I'm now permanently a resident of Granivier. So it's only natural that I give back to the area where I was born and bred. That's my motivation.
Okay, and tell me, what sorts of activities does the development committee engage in here in Granivier?
What we do, the name speaks for itself, Granivier Development Committee. We work towards education, culture, the elderly, health and wellness, fitness, infrastructure, sports, youth, name it. We try to reach out to all aspects of the community.
Okay, as a community development activist, would you care to share something in your life that brought about some sort of social change in you personally that you'd like to share with others?
For me, the way I was raised in a single parent family, with my mom being the breadwinner, and the oldest of my siblings being my brother. He was the one who really and truly took on the father figure. Some of the benefits of that was actually being raised by a community of persons, and not just my mom and my brother. Back then, everybody played an important role in raising a child. So if we were hungry, we would go to, let's say, for example, Malala's home. She would know Martino's children are there. They don't have a mom, they don't have a dad. So, we'd get a plate of food there, a good spanking as well. Yes. The discipline was there. So it's not only the family, the community raised us. So that's where I guess basically it came from.
Okay, I like that you said that. In that vein, what responsibility do you think that community groups and the community in general has to play in the development of their own communities? Because I think a lot of people rely on government to do things for them, and you are one of these people who are showing that, you know, we can get up and we can do things for ourselves in our community. What are your thoughts on that?
Of course, it's really important that all community groups, be it mothers, fathers, sports, cultural, because we are the ones who know our community. We know what we need. We know what's going to drive the community. We know how we're going to develop. It's really important that we all come together and, you know, just work towards a common goal in terms of developing. Because we're not take an outsider to come into your community to push, although it has worked in the past, but then for it to be to give it passion, yeah, and ownership, it would definitely take persons and members and groups from the community to do so.
Okay, what is the highlight, as we're about to close, what is the highlight of Grand Riviere? If you had to describe Grand Riviere for me in a sentence, what would you say?
Grand Riviere is the place to be. We have a little of everything. Church, culture. We now into country and western. Wow. We have some of the best schools. We have some of the best sports personalities. We have some national representatives on the netball team coming right here from Grand Riviere. We have some people would challenge me for that, but that's the place to come if you want to really and truly settle in St. Lucia. Grand Riviere, Gros, and we have some of the best rivers in St. Lucia.
So you heard it here. Grand Riviere is the place to be. This is your community in the town of Gros. We're now passing through Grand Riviere. Stay with us. We are now in Moshi, a subdivision of the town of Gros and one of 47 large estates in the north of the island. You're watching Your Community, a production of the Ministry of Social Transformation, Local Government and Community Empowerment. In today's episode, we took a tour of the town of Gros, getting to speak with some of the movers and shakers on the ground. I'm your presenter, Adhara King. Look out for us in Your Community.